Hello. This is going to be a pretty short one, I think. This is mostly an action-based chapter, but there were some things I didn't really expect. People kind of said that the Iron Giant was going to get back up, and I sort of like after like just watching other people's reviews and just seeing content from the community over the past week, I'm like, yeah, the Iron Giant's going to get back up and continue the fight. And sure enough, he does. His name is revealed to be Emeth. Cool. I don't know. I like the name Emeth. It's cool, and I like how he's like remembering Joy Boy saying something to like the OG Joy Boy. I assume he's flashing back to saying the time has arrived or something like time has come. I can't remember what the exact words were, but yeah, I liked that he was like recalling that, and that was like what was driving him, and it was especially juxtaposed to like Vegapunk's speech coming back on, which I didn't expect, and I'm talking about the will, the inherited will, and I'm like, um, yeah, sorry, it also should have everything, but like, yeah, it's like super cool, like that, like the inherited will of Joy Boy is still continuing on modern day. It's such awesome, exciting end game stuff. Like we're having a member of Joy Boy's crew like helping the Straw Hats in a fight. Like I know we don't know a lot about Joy Boy and his crew yet, but like who would have thought we would be seeing that like now? It's like we're really in the end game. But yeah, I didn't expect. Honestly, people were saying it, but I didn't expect Vegapunk's speech to come back on. I didn't. I thought that's all the information we're getting, but it seems like it's continuing. It seems like we're still going with it. I like that we got to see the reactions from Whole Cake. That was nice, and like, of course, we saw Vivi as well. Yeah, I'm interested to see what else we're going to learn now that it is back on. I know there was a huge chunk about the D clan and the Will of D that we missed, but I'm interested to see like what else we get now that we're seems like we're going to get more, which I wasn't quite expecting. But yeah, it seems like okay, there's a limit to Bonnie's power, like, but it's similar to Luffy, where she can't stay in the form that long because it's incredibly exhausting and taxing. Um, there's a part in the middle of the chapter that really confused me, and I think it might have just been the paneling, and it might be, oh my tongue, I had ices earlier, blue raspberry flavor, and yeah, my tongue's still blue from it. This is my Asiago face. Anyway. Yeah. So, they were like, there's part. It might have been the paneling. And I think it would be more clear in the anime, maybe in the Viz translation, but I'm guessing more clear in the anime. And if I watch reviews, maybe that will help clear it up. But like, yeah, there was a part where they were like, it was like Sanji, Frankie, and Bonnie were all like hurting Luffy, like I guess kicking him with force to projectile him into oh God, I can never remember which Gorosei is which, the bird, whatever, which one was the bird. They were like projectiling him into it to knock him away, and I had to like read that part 2 or 3 times, and I still don't know if I fully understand it. Like they were hurting Luffy, like, and maybe Luffy was storing the kinetic energy to projectile himself into the bird and knock him away. And I thought, oh, Luffy was gonna fly away too. And they said like, oh, it's got coming back for a while. Then Luffy's in the next panel, and so I was like, I was very confused. I assume what they were doing is like he was storing the kinetic energy and using that force to knock him in, but it was like it didn't really make sense, and it was a little unclear to me. And also, he was saying, "Of course it hurts, like you're using hockey," and I'm like, wait, is Frankie using hockey? Like I know Sanji uses hockey for his kicks, but like is Frankie using hockey? Is Bonnie using hockey? Have we seen that? Is that a new thing? That I'm just like, or am I just being dumb and not interpreting that correctly? But yeah, like if anyone's watching this and like has a better interpretation of that sequence, that they can leave in the comments below, that would be helpful, like, honestly, because I didn't really understand that sequence too well. But yeah, overall this was like pretty much just an action chapter. Oda's taking a sweet time of us getting out of Egghead. It's very reminiscent of the whole Escape from Whole Cake sequence. That was like as incredible as Egghead is as an arc and how his Whole Cake is. It's like when Big Mom's chasing them in the ocean for 20 chapters, and the Big Mom pirate fleet is like firing at them for 20 chapters. You're just like, oh my god. I know it hasn't been that much. It just feels like that much because I'm a weekly reader and there's so many breaks. It just feels like, oh my god, just get to fucking Elbaf already, God. And it's like I'm being so spoiled by saying that too, because we're in like the peak of One Piece right now, and we're in one of the best arcs, and we're learning so much, and we're seeing such amazing endgame shit. And I'm just like, impatient, time for change of scenery. I'm just a spoiled little entitled brat, and I want something new. Because when like, honestly, if you were just reading this all the way through, I guarantee it would be the most exciting shit ever, and you would not be bored of this setting. I think it's just because I'm a weekly reader. And we've been in Egghead for like, what? Uh, 2 years now? I think maybe more, 2.5 years. I can't remember exactly. So it's like, oh, okay, like it's time. I think within the next 2 chapters though we'll be out. It seems like they're really progressing. Except for when the worm one sucked them back. That was such a funny image when like he was like up chucking all the shit that he sucked in. You just see like random like cipher pole agents just falling like on the ship like little spackles like. That was like a pretty funny imagery. But yeah, overall, solid action chapter. Of course, always going to be sad. I feel like there's no chapter next, but I feel like any week where I'm going to be visiting Alberto and Jen, and it would be exciting for me to be able to read the new chapter with them. It's always a chapter break. I feel like it's happened every single time, and it's so frustrating. But yeah. Anyway, that is going to be it for this video. I think I don't really have any more points to share. So yeah, let me know if you have any thoughts in the comments below. Thanks guys for watching. See you guys tomorrow with another video. I was about to upload this, but I just totally remembered I wanted to talk about the cover story. I thought it was a really good addition. I thought it was a really like nice tonal shift for this cover story arc, which I'm very much invested in. Since Yamato is probably my number 2 or possibly tied for number 1 favorite character in the whole series. So yeah, we see him wandering through. Oh my god, I can't even. We're so far removed from Wano now that I can't even remember the name of the regions. What was the prison the area where the prisons were? It was like Kuri? Was that the snow region? I don't remember. But yeah, we see him wandering over there, and like kids are like throwing rocks at him because he's the son of Kaido, and I feel like that's a really interesting touch because my whole mouth's still blue. Anyway, it's a really interesting touch because it shows us the effects like of what was going on there so profoundly that like these kids still look raggedy and still suffering. Like the prosperity hasn't hit them yet, and they're still so resentful of like the regime they were living under with like that they're like throwing rocks at Yamato because he's Kaido's son, and the fact that like there must have been like inclusions of like Kaido and like Kaido's like crew like higher ups and like Yamato in court, because like how else would the kids recognize like Kaido and Yamato? It just poses so many interesting questions and like interesting commentary on the Wano society just from like one cover story panel. So I thought I'd mention that. Thought I'd include that a little bit extra here. But now I have to edit this thing. I can't just straight upload it. So you're welcome.